Hey folks, Mike and McGee here. As I told you in the previous video when we got these carp, we're going to do a how-to video on how to smoke and prepare these for eating. These are carp. They're called common carp. They're not highly prized by nobody except maybe Asians. And so in order to get these smoked to where we sort of protect the meat, we're just going to scale them. We're not going to skin them. So we got them with gigs. So we have places on them where they're kind of been chopped through, but we're going to clean them up right quick. We're going to gut them and we're going to get them ready for the smoker. Let's do it. That we've decided to cook the fish, the big carp. We're going to get this smoker rolling and we're going to lay them in there and let them smoke and cook. Now, I like to let the fire go out before the wood's all consumed. That way the next time you start the fire, you just spray a little bit of lighter fluid on it. Boom, you're good to go. Lay your wood on. I'm going to be cooking this with ash, and I'm going to top it off with some green cherry from a stump the boys trimmed down, and that's going to give this fish flavor to savor. You may wonder why I pile the wood in there so big and full. That's because I want this thing to cook down to some coals with a lot of wood left in it. I need energy left in this because I'm not going to be here to refill it. I need it to cook by itself. I think it will. All right, there's one thing about freezing fish. If you leave the skin on when you thaw it out, and it doesn't matter what kind of fish it is, if the skin's on it, it's going to be slimy. So there's one way that I know to get that slime off, and that's salt. It'll easily get that slime off. Now, I just happen to have a big old huge ice chest full of salt here. This is left over from my good old smoking days all winter long. And so I'm just going to take handfuls of this salt and just sprinkle on these fish. I'm not putting my fish in the salt. I don't want to leave no slime in there. But only those 2 handfuls, and that's enough. Just rub it down like that. Get the salt on both sides. And that'll completely de-slime your fish. Completely and totally de-slime your fish. This works, by the way, with the most slimy things on earth, such as stingray. I've actually got a video on here showing you how to de-slime a stingray. In that application, I used lemon juice in conjunction with the salt, and boy, oh boy, made a wonderful difference. But you see here how this is going. We're fixing to get the water hose and spray this off, and slime is over. No more of that. The fish are clean and ready to roll. I want this to have a little insulation on the bottom because I got a pretty hot fire. So I'm going to do like this. I'm going to take my fish and lay it on here. Like this right here. What we're going to do, we're going to take a knife. About every inch, we're going to score this skin. All the way across like this right here. I don't want to score it too deep because there's little pin bones in there, Y bones. I don't want them getting cut up any smaller than they already are. But I'm going to take my salt and I'm going to bend the fish to open up them scored cuts. And I'm going to put my Redmonds real salt all over that. Rub that in. Camp Dog Cajun seasoning. You would think that a body would get old after a while with this seasoning, but it's unreal good. When I flip it over, I'm going to take the opportunity to open him up and throw some generous amounts of salt in there, along with more Camp Dog. And then we've got the other side here available and ready to go. Now we're going to go up through here, scoring that skin as well. Salt, rub her down. It'll help it go into them cuts. Cajun Camp Dog, all over it like that. Now, we're just going to fold this up. Fold this up and up. He's ready to go in the smoker just like that. Slide him in and get ready for the next one. You probably noticed what I did there. I went ahead and did 2 of them with the foil open and 2 of them with the foil closed, just to be on the safe side and just to have a difference there. See how it goes. I'd hate to have all of them burned up or whatever. I'm not going to be here to watch it. So that's the reason I did 2 of them different than the 2 others. Now I've got this closed, this is closed. As you can see, my wood is stacked all the way to the top. It ain't going out and it ain't going away. That's the 2 main things. I've got my chimney open, but everything else is closed. That means the heat is going to be maintaining a solid temperature. It's going to be fairly high, so it'll be done when I get back. Will it be burned up? I don't know. All right, we just made it back home. See if we got anything to eat or if it is all burnt to a crisp. It's never good when they're burned to a crisp. The first one is one that I had wrapped up. Take a little peek. That looks all right. We'll pull it out for you here in a minute. Here's one that was left open, and it is a crispy critter. I don't know if it's edible much. The top side's pretty much dried up like jerky. The bottom side probably be all right. Let that be a lesson learned. Never be afraid to do multiple things to try to ensure that you got something to eat when you're done. This one's open, also jerky. And this one is closed. I didn't even have them wrapped tight. I just had them folded down, and it made all the difference in the world. You can see here. Soft. We'll deal with that here in a second. I'm going to take this in the house. We'll get it on the table, and we'll eat. Alright, let's get this fish out of here. I think I'll just dump it. Okay, while they're getting ready, I think I'm just going to go ahead and put some on their plates for them. I'm just going to take it and give it a little twist, and the spine, everything comes apart. You have nice flaky meat. There's only one problem. Carp are full of bones. So, when they start to eat, I will have to duly warn them about eating carefully. Mary, you want any?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Mary the rib bone. The rib pieces are actually the easiest because you just have big bones. The fillet part is rather difficult because you got lots of little bones. So, Mom, are you okay with ribs? They should be simpler and safer to get out. Past David's plate, I give him these.
I'll take the eyeball.
You'll take the eyeball? Well, you can have the eyeball. I don't think anybody's gonna fight you. Never seen anybody fight Caleb over the eyeball. All right, everybody, come and get it. Matt, does it look good to you?
Yeah.
Look at that end piece, how it's just nice and flaky meat. But there's also bones. You'll have to eat slow and careful. That's a big bone, that's a rib bone, that's the easy kind. Get them out. I had 4 fish, 2 of them I'd left the foil open a little bit. And 2 of them I closed the foil. And these are the ones that had the foil closed because the ones that were open are like jerky. The tops of the fish are completely dried out and hard to chew. The bottom part against the foil may be fine. I'm going to try a piece of skin here. Fishy. Nice and fishy. Some people don't like the word nice and the word fishy to be in the same sentence. I think it's going to go good with your rice. I got plenty of salt and plenty of camp dog in there. And that rice will be a little bland. It'll really complement each other. Just eat it like a typical picky person. Just nitpick at it. If you eat it like you're used to eating and just gulping it down, you're going to end up with a bone in your throat. Okay, if you get a bone in your throat, I was told on good authority, take Adolph's meat tenderizer and stir it in water. Maybe a teaspoon of it. Stir it in a cup of water. Sip on that. It's got bromelain in it. Bromelain is a enzyme that will eat at that bone. The guy I was talking to said he had a bone stuck in his throat and he couldn't get rid of it. He just sipped that. He called it a bromelain tea or Adolph meat tenderizer tea. You get one in your throat. Oh boy. Call the doctor.
I got hot pepper.
Hot pepper. Sip on that Adolph's meat tenderizer. He said he felt that thing dissolve. Just a little help if that happens to you. They say also eat a piece of bread. It might grab it and help pull it on down. The meat tenderizer, if you can't get a bone dislodged, that's how to do it. Now, on to the show. There have been millions and millions of pounds of these thrown away. Call them trash fish. But now, they're good, eatable fish. Now, boys, have y'all been able to get enough in your mouth to see what it tastes like? Oh no. Ain't got a bone. These little Y bones are teeny tiny. You gotta be real careful with them. You gotta pick through it. You can't just put a big piece in your mouth.
It's good.
That's
It's got a good smoke flavor.
It's so good that it's hard to eat slow enough. But it pays to go gentle with it. You don't want to feed this to real little children. Pick it up and you can kind of see the bones. They got like 3 or 4 hairs sticking out of them, but they are bones. Gotta be careful. What I'm wondering is, could you take these fish, fillet them, put the fillet through a meat grinder? Would the bones chop up, or would they just sort of pull through the grinder and still be dangerous? I don't know. I'm not gonna have time this year to try it out. This is all the carp we get this year, looks like. Certain parts of this almost taste like smoked cheese, to be honest with you. It's really good. So I guess you could say it's very good, but it's also dangerous. I can't stress enough. Be careful about the bones. Very bony. But the flavor is immaculate. The skin is not so great. You might want to peel that skin off. But the actual meat under that skin, it's immaculate. Taylor, is it any good?
Yeah. Toothpick.
Have you been okay getting out the bones?
Yep.
Safe? Mary, is it good? What's the flavor like?
fish.
Like fish?
It's a little bit like fish, and then it's got some smoke.
That smokiness really kind of sets it off.
Yeah.
It's a better way to do a carp, in my opinion, smoking it like that. It's been done a lot. I'm not the first person to do it. Tastes a little bit like ham. I mean, like this piece here where this fin came in, that meat around that fin is dark. And it looks like ham. Truly, and it tastes like ham. Very tender, very delicious. In the tail, down the end of the fish at the tail, probably the boniest piece you can get. You're gonna want to eat 1/4 inch at a time. Just take a little bit off. Might be a good place to use chopsticks. Just pick it apart. Well, there you have it. Anybody have anything to say? Matt, you've been kind of quiet. You got yours almost gone. Was it really that good?
Mm-hmm.
Did you figure out a method to finding the bones?
Not really.
Not really. Just pick around until you find them. Did you get in your mouth?
So I got some in my mouth.
Main thing is, if you're buying it, try to keep them up at the front. Once they get towards the back of your mouth, towards your throat, it's difficult to get them out. You almost have to spit the whole mouthful out. But anyway, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it? A 5?
Yeah.
If there wasn't bones all in it, it would be higher, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like
'Cause
8 or 9.
The actual meat is good. It's just bony. A lot of people can it. We can it. We can it in jars, and those little tiny bones can dissolve, and then you can make like a fish salad or fish patties and fry them or whatever. You can eat the bones. That kind of ups your calcium level. Good for you, really. But with only 4 fish, we decided, hey, instead of making a jar of fish, we'll go ahead and grill them up on the smoker and see how it goes, and this is how it went. But that's all we've got for you today. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.